Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something a bit different. It's all centered around the lyrics of a song by Alison McLean called It's In Our D.I.Y.
Right. And just to be clear, we're not talking about, building shelves here.
No, definitely
Yeah.
not. This DIY is, well, it's more like a philosophy and instruction manual for your own mind, maybe?
Exactly. The lyrics themselves, they're very conceptual, almost like a framework. But they lay out this whole system for thinking about agency and peace and even freedom.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack that, to pull out the core ideas, the actionable stuff from this lyrical philosophy.
The do-it-yourself part of the philosophy, you could say.
Got it. So where do we start? The song has this like central mantra, right? It's in our DIY.
Yes. And right after that, it hits you with this claim. We have an endless supply. It repeats that. DIY, endless supply.
An endless supply of what, though? That's the immediate question.
Well, the source material makes it pretty clear it's talking about our internal capacity. The power to choose, the power to define things for ourselves. It's like mental capital, almost.
Emotional capital, too.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff that doesn't run out. That's the foundation. This idea that you always have this agency inside you.
Okay, so if we've got this endless internal toolkit,
Hmm.
what's the first big project the lyrics point us to? Seems like it's freedom.
It is. And the definition it gives is, well, it's pretty radical. It says, freedom, like everything, is a perspective that we've given meaning.
Whoa. Okay, stop there. Freedom is a perspective that we've given meaning.
Right. That's the cornerstone. It completely reframes freedom. It's not something out there you get. It's something in here you create through perspective.
That's a powerful idea. But doesn't it risk, I don't know, minimizing real-world constraints? Like if someone's actually oppressed, telling them freedom is just a perspective feels insufficient, maybe.
That's a really important point to wrestle with. The philosophy here seems to distinguish between action and meaning. The external world might limit what you can do, absolutely.
Okay.
But it argues that the external world can't impose meaning on you unless you let it. If you choose to see a limitation not as a final verdict, but as, say, a context you have to navigate, that act of assigning meaning is the freedom it's talking about.
So the meaning you assign,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the power lies internally. The jailer is your own definition of the walls.
That seems to be the core argument, yeah. It pulls the locus of control entirely inside.
And it doesn't stop at freedom, that phrase.
Yeah.
Everything. That's huge.
Yeah.
If freedom is just a perspective we assign,
Then what isn't? That's the implication. Success, failure, stress, happiness, all of it. The value impact these things have on us comes from the meaning we've layered onto them.
so we're constantly, maybe unconsciously, building our own reality through these interpretations. That's quite a responsibility.
It absolutely is total accountability for the reality you experience based on the perspectives you choose, or perhaps the perspectives you don't choose to question.
Okay, so if we have all this DIY power, this endless supply of agency to shape our perspective, shouldn't we just be, like, perfectly peaceful all the time?
Logically, yeah, you'd think so, but obviously that's not how it works for most of us.
Right. And the lyrics seem to know that. They address the gap. They actually say peace is, well, really accessible.
The line is direct. Peace is all around us. Like it's the default state, the background radiation of reality almost.
Okay, if peace is just there, like the air, then what's blocking us? What stops us from experiencing it, especially if we have this internal DIY kit? The song points a finger, doesn't it?
It does. Very specifically, the only thing that robs us of peace, according to the lyrics, is our self in being.
Our self in being. That's
Yeah.
interesting phrasing. It's not blaming external events, it's blaming us. We're part of us.
Sort of. Think of the self in being as that constantly running internal monologue. The part of you that's always defining, judging, comparing, worrying. The ego, maybe? The part that's always doing self-consciousness.
Okay, so it's not just having a self, it's the activity of that self, the constant mental churn.
Exactly. If peace is this calm river flowing all around, the self in being is you frantically trying to build a dam or complaining about the current or analyzing the water temperature instead of just getting in.
So the self, trying to manage and control everything, paradoxically creates the disturbance. We write a script that says, this situation is not peaceful.
Precisely. It's resisting the what is by constantly filtering it through its own needs and fears. And that resistance is what shatters the peace that's apparently already there.
So how do we get out of our own way then? How do we stop that self in being from hijacking everything?
Well, that brings us to the practical part. The how-to in the DIY manual. The lyrics redefine peace again. It's not just a state, it's an action. It says peace is a choice and participation.
A choice in participation. Even though it's already around us, that sounds a bit contradictory. What are we participating in?
Well, think about it. If the self and being is about resistance, about running that old script of this isn't right or I need to control this, then participation is the opposite. It's choosing to engage with the present moment differently.
How, though? Like, what does that look like?
It's about choosing to use that DIY agency, that perspective-shifting power we talked about. You participate in the piece by choosing a perspective that aligns with it, rather than fighting the reality of the moment. It's an internal shift in engagement.
Okay, this is leading to the core instruction, isn't it? The actual tool.
It is. The action plan is distilled into one line, really. Just flip our script for simple integration.
Flip our script. That's it. That's the DIY action.
That seems to be the core mechanism. You identify the script yourself in being is running the one causing the lack of peace, and you actively choose to replace it with a different one.
So you use your agency, your endless supply, to consciously change the meaning you're assigning to whatever's happening.
Exactly. You move away from the obstacle, the resisting self and being, and towards the solution, the choice and participation.
And the goal is simple integration. What does that mean, integration?
I think it means alignment, getting your internal state lined up with the peace that's available, head and heart, thoughts and feelings, all sort of coming together in acceptance of the present. No more internal conflict, just integration.
Okay, theory's good, but let's make this concrete. Give us an example, like a real-world flip the script moment. How does it work when things feel genuinely stressful?
All right, good idea. Let's take work stress. Big project, tight deadline. The self and being kicks in immediately, right?
Oh, yeah. Script probably sounds like, this is impossible, I'm going to fail, everyone will know, my career is over. Something like that.
Exactly. That script assigns meanings of threat, inadequacy, catastrophe. It creates the feeling of being robbed of peace.
Okay, so how do you flip that script using this DIY approach?
You consciously activate your agency. You notice the script, and you choose a different one. Maybe something like, okay, this is a large task. It requires focus. It's an opportunity to practice managing complexity. My value isn't determined by this single outcome.
So the challenge is still there. The deadline hasn't vanished.
No, the external facts remain. But you've flipped the meaning. You've shifted from a perspective of threat to one of opportunity or practice. You've chosen to participate differently in the situation.
And that leads to simple integration. Because you're not fighting the reality anymore, just changing how you relate to it internally.
That's the idea. The internal conflict dissolves because you've changed the internal narrative. You align yourself with a more peaceful or at least neutral way of engaging with the present. It feels simpler, integrated.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that word simple again. It reinforces that this isn't some mystical, unattainable thing. It's DIY. It's achievable with your own internal tools.
Yeah, the repetition in the song itself almost feels like it's drilling that in. DIY. Endless supply. Peace is around. Flip the script. It's like a calming loop.
Okay, let's recap this for everyone listening. We've gone deep into the philosophy packed into It's In Our D.I.Y. What are the key takeaways for building this internal reality?
Okay, first, your core power, your agency. It's internal and it's limitless. That endless supply is always there. You never run out of the ability to shift your perspective.
Second, freedom and really everything you experience isn't dictated by the outside world. It's defined by the meaning you assign to it. You choose the perspective.
Right. And third, peace isn't something to chase. It's already present. You access it by consciously choosing to participate differently by flipping the script. Your judging self and being is running. Overcoming that internal resistance is key.
It all comes back to that foundational idea. Freedom, like everything, is a perspective that we've given meaning. If we really take that on board.
It means we're the authors of our experience, constantly writing these scripts, whether we realize it or not.
And sometimes, those scripts were exactly what keep us stuck, keeping us from that peace the song says is all around.
The unconscious script becomes the barrier.
So that leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to sort of build with. Given everything we've unpacked, what's one specific script, one ingrained belief maybe, that your self and being constantly runs?
Could be about anything: relationships, your capabilities, money, failure.
Yeah, identify one script that you suspect is robbing you of peace right now. Got it.
Yeah.
Now, using your DIY agency, what's one simple word, one small phrase you could flip it to right now? What's the first step towards simple integration for you?
Go start that internal build.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.